Let's have a look at the Saturday's Telegraph once again, actually. And this story, I'm sure, won't get any of us in trouble in any way.
No, and I'm going to handle this really well, I'm sure. White British children could be a minority in schools within 40 years. They're talking mostly about London and Birmingham, urban areas, the two largest, most populous cities in England. And those cities themselves are minority white. And, of course, the student body will reflect that at some point in the future. Again, this is a prediction. We're not quite sure. But this is what they're saying. I don't see the problem with any of this. It wouldn't be bad to have some people that wouldn't mind working. My husband manages a comedy club. And in the last 2 years, almost the entire staff now are white English people. And they mock his accent and don't take his orders seriously.
Well, the problem some people have is that, there was a very strange article about this from Andrew Sullivan where he was quoting some friends of his, and they said, oh, it's great, we get to go around London and we don't hear a single English accent. I'm like, why is that a positive that you don't hear an English accent in the capital of England? It's a bit weird.
You only want that in a massage parlour. You don't want them to know.
The thing is, when people say English accent, they mean if they're foreigners especially, they mean what they've heard in a film or on a TV show. So that's somebody posh, like Nick, or working class, like this.
Comprehensive school, grew up in the north, from nothing.
There's a variance of English accents that may include someone who lives in Whitechapel that may not look what people imagine an English person to look like if they're foreign. And it might sound urban or it might sound colloquial, but that's an English accent as well. In fact, I think that sort of response about wanting to hear an English accent, it does sound, in my ear, slightly bigoted.
Well, this is a real thing that is happening there. And I believe this comes from Paul Morland's interview. I actually listened to this. It seems to be the same thing. It was with the Telegraph off script. The main part of the interview was actually that we need a pro-natal approach. It was birth rates again, because he was saying that immigration won't actually, whatever you think of it, it won't even fix the economic problem.
No.
It's temporary. You're taking them from places which also have low birth rates, and the immigrants get old, etc. Yeah. So we actually need higher birth rates. Pro-natal approach is the only thing that would work, what the Pope's saying. But what do you think to this, Jonathan? I mean, you probably...
Well, I think there's sort of been a real, maybe energetic shift to the idea of having kids as being kind of, gross and people don't want it. And in the comedy clubs and stuff, everyone's like, no, I don't even want kids. It's like, well, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. What's the answer? Should we all have kids? Should we have kids right now? Should we do it? Should I just go home and do it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm hoping you were. I thought that's why you had that waistcoat on. You hoping to seduce someone.
I think the thing about having children, too, you have to make the idea of it more economically appealing to young people who are so terrified about their economic future, right? Because they're being told the last 5 years that they have no economic future. So why would they invest in themselves as parents? That seems crazy to them.
I mean, the environmental narrative as well. It's like, well, do you want to bring children into a world that's about to be, destroyed?
It's true. Norwegians and Swedish people that live in London are moving back to Norway and Sweden crazy, as destabilizing their economies can be because it's so expensive, because they can't afford the childcare in London. If you're going to have kids, you've got to afford them.
And these are Nordic people, they're rich.
Yeah, I've always said, let's get rid of these Norwegians coming over here, making our country clean and wealthy, or whatever it is.
Hurdying our Gerdies.